The Giver, if I remember correctly, was published in 1993. It was different from my previous books, and I knew that when I was writing it. I've never liked science fiction, so I never thought of it as science fiction, although some people who like to use categories have put it in that category. But what it is a book set in a future time. And for me, it was just like writing realistic fiction. I created a place, created a character. He's a boy about to be 12, and here's where he lives, and here's what it's like. And what it's like is, because it's in the future, is very different from our contemporary way of life, but not in a sense of technology. I didn't deal with any of that. Just in the way it's evolved into a place with a complicated set of rules, all of which are designed to make the world in which he lives very safe and very comfortable. And then I tried in writing it to make it seductive, so that for the first third of the book, I hope, readers will feel as though this is a good place to live. There's no crime, there's no inequality, there's no discrimination. And then gradually you realize that the reason there are none of these things, no discrimination, for example, is because everybody is the same color. No crime, because there's no money. Everybody has all their wants taken care of. And then there are hints along the way, and I won't go into each detail, that make you become aware in an uncomfortable way that maybe it isn't such a great place. And by the end of the book, you're certainly aware, as the boy becomes aware, that there's a terrible underbelly to this place where he lives, well, perhaps evil is too strong a term, but terrible compromises have been made. And then, as happens, I think, in many of my books, this young boy, who now, by the time the book concludes, is 12, is almost 13, has set out to try to change the world he lives in. I think that's such a wonderful thing for a fictional child to take on. It that year won the Newbery-Medal, which was astonishing enough. But the Newbery-Medal is given for, I've forgotten the terminology, the most distinguished piece of literature published that year for children. Okay, so people, important people, people who know, thought it a distinguished piece of literature. At the same time, almost simultaneously, other people became very frightened by this book. And ever since 1993, it has been on the list of most challenged books in the United States. That doesn't mean banned or censored. It hovers close to it, though. What it means is that somebody has gone forward with this book and demanded that it be removed from the school or the library. And then it generally goes through a set of procedures. Usually there's a meeting of the school board. Often there are lots of newspaper articles, letters to the editor, sometimes public meetings, people shouting at each other, all over this book. It's never, to be honest, been completely clear to me what it is they're objecting to and why they feel so frightened by it.